How to make French toast. First, you want to start with the size pan so that the French toast will fit in it. This is an 11-inch pan. It is a pan that I purchased from Amazon, made by Yiffeo, Yiiffeo. It's a non-stick fry pan, and it is PFOA free. If you're unaware, PFOA is a chemical that can get into your food and then get into your body, and it takes decades to leave your body. It has been banned since 2014, so if you have newer pans since then you're good to go. Also, when cooking, you want to make sure that your pan fits the size of the burner that you're using. So you don't want to put a big pan like this on a small burner, so try to find the right size pan. You'll need a spatula, just any spatula. You want one obviously that's not going to scrape into your pan, so you want to have a rubber spatula or plastic. Obviously you need some bread. We have about 6 pieces here. It's not going to make too much French toast this morning. You need some oil. I would prefer corn oil over vegetable oil, but whatever you like is fine. You'll need some cinnamon. I keep mine in small containers that are magnetic on the side of my fridge because I don't have a big house. You'll also need some regular white sugar. I keep mine in a very small container. You'll need some milk. You can use whole milk, you can use almond milk, you can use any type of milk you like. I'm allergic to milk, so I choose Almond Breeze. You'll also, to make it a little bit more flavorful, you can use some vanilla. I use imitation vanilla. You can use real vanilla if you'd like. You'll need a couple of eggs. Mine are brown. We raise chickens, so we have eggs of different colors. You'll need a small bowl and a fork. So let's get started by we'll first start by cracking some eggs. If you don't know how to crack an egg, what I like to do is put a paper towel underneath so that it drips down onto the paper towel. So you'll just hit it a couple times on the side of the bowl, and then you'll open it up like so, and it falls right in. Look down in there for any shells. You don't want shells in your food. Crack again on the side, and open it up and let it fall in. Looks like we didn't get any shells. So then you'll take your fork and you will, kind of in a circular motion. There's other gadgets that you can use for mixing up eggs, but I just like to use a fork. This is how I learned, and so this is what I always do. So you'll mix that up a little bit, and then you'll add, and with French toast, I don't do any measuring. So you're going to learn to make a recipe that you don't have to measure. So you're just going to pour a little bit of milk in, stir it up. You just want it to become a little bit lighter consistency, and it also helps your batter go just a little bit further when making the French toast. Stir it up. Again, we're not going to measure. We're going to put in some sugar and just pour in how much you like. I would guess that was probably about a tablespoon, and then I just sprinkled a little bit more, so it's probably maybe another half a teaspoon if you would like to measure. Stir that in, and then we're going to add some cinnamon. Again, no measuring, do it to your liking. You don't have to put cinnamon if you don't like it. Just gives it a little bit more flavor. At this point, I'm going to turn on my burner. I'm going to put that on a medium high. For me, that's about a number 6. All stoves are different, so you're going to have to figure that one out. So mine, again, put it on about a 6. So we'll let that start to get warm, and then we're going to pour in a little bit of vanilla. If you'd like to measure, you can. Vanilla, if you use the cap is about 1 teaspoon. So if you want to measure it that way, you can. However, I like to put a little bit more than a teaspoon in. I put probably 2 teaspoons in. And just pour it in. Again, mix it up. If you've never cooked before, this is a very simple recipe. You'll impress yourself or impress someone else that you're cooking for. Now, with the oil, we're going to put, again, no measuring. We're just going to pour some into the bottom of the pan. And what we're going to do with that is just kind of move the oil around with your spatula so that it's all over the pan. And that's getting warmed up. We just want it to be warm for a few moments. Now with the cinnamon does settle whenever you start to use the batter. It will settle to the bottom. So you might want to add more if you like more cinnamon on your toast. Cooking is a great coping skill. I don't know if you have coping skills for when you're stressed out, but coping mechanisms do work for you when you are stressed. Some people go for walks, some people listen to music. I like to cook. Cooking helps me kind of reduce my stress when I'm feeling stressed out. I am in the psychology field, so you'll often hear me talk about coping skills and things related to psychological issues. So, if you had a stressful night and you woke up in the morning thinking you want something good for breakfast, good time to come into the kitchen, relax, make yourself some French toast. So, what we're going to do, pan's not quite warm enough, we're going to let it get just a little bit warmer. But what you want to do is you are going to dredge your bread into the batter. You turn it, and you do have to use your fingers. And you let it just sit on the top, and then you turn it over. Just make sure the egg batter is on both sides. Let it drip off a little bit. And then you're going to put it into the pan, like so. I think I can probably fit 3 pieces in this 11-inch pan. Do another one. And maybe I can fit one more. And as you can see, as you get down to the 3rd piece, the cinnamon starts to not be on that 3rd piece as much as it is on the others, as you can see. If you like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my cinnamon and sprinkle a little bit more on there. I like cinnamon, as you can tell. And then we're going to let that cook. It's going to take a few minutes before it gets browned. And that's the goal, is to brown it on both sides. I'm going to wash my hands and get those egg off of my hands. And we'll let this cook for a few moments and then we'll flip it. Okay, so it's getting time, I think, to check and flip it. So we're going to look underneath, and once you start seeing looking like this, where it's got some golden brown spots on it, it's time to flip. So we've got them all 3 flipped now. These pans that I bought, these Yipio, I am not in it by any means trying to sell them to you, but they are great. I've had them since February of 2021, and I just love them. It came in a set of 3, an 8-inch, a 9-inch, and 11-inch. The only drawback is it didn't come with lids. I had to purchase separate lids. But I had purchased an Ozeri, it's Ozeri. I had purchased those pans, and I used those, and they only lasted about a year. And they were supposed to, they had great reviews on Amazon. They were supposed to be non-stick, PFOA free, all that. They worked great for the first year, but they didn't last, and these seem to be lasting. As long as you make sure when you wash your pans, you want to make sure you're not using anything that's going to scratch them. So you want to use a soft sponge, or I'm not sure if they go in the dishwasher. I don't use a dishwasher, so I can't remember if these do or not. So now we're going to let them cook On the opposite side, I know you'd probably know how to eat your French toast, but I will just give you some options if you don't like syrup, which I don't eat syrup. It tends to bother my stomach. So I use Cool Whip and fruit, like peaches or blueberries or strawberries, which is a great topping. You can also put honey on top. If you're out of syrup, you can also choose to use jelly, and it tastes just as good. So the opposite side doesn't seem to take as long. So you'll want to just check it, and nope, you want to cook just a little bit more. Let's see what this one looks like. Yep, I want those to cook just a little bit more. Get them a little bit more. See how they slide nice and easy once you flip. This one looks like it's cooking pretty good. Let's see. And you know, I didn't say, but you can use white bread, wheat bread, whatever type of bread you like. You can even use grain bread if you'd like. Some people use French bread, literal French bread, and you can cut that. So once they're brown on the other side, they are ready to serve. You can also put butter on top and syrup if that's how you'd like it. If you have any questions or any suggestions of anything that you would like for me to show you how to cook, please do so and put it in the comments below. Thanks for cooking with Dar.